Does Harmony have what it takes to be a fun anime classic? We'll find out after the break. Harmony. This movie is about a world where everything's moderated by some form of medicine, so it rules out the possibilities of death, cancer, and all these diseases. It lacks any life in the eyes of this one girl named Miak Mihi, which leads a group in her high school years to attempt suicide as a form of rebellion. So she has a friend called Tuan Kiri, and she is the one that defects from the group and decides to not go along with the stupid idea of course, suicide. Ends up joining like a military rank later on in her years, after high school. After all these years, there's actual suicide attempts that start happening all around the world, and they're trying to figure out what's wrong. And Tuan is tasked with finding out who this person is, and she kind of has an idea of who it might be. I kind of like the visuals of this movie. There was moments where it goes on and off, like they had a mismatch of 3D and 2D. So you see a lot of the plain, the flat 2D in certain sequences, but there's other sequences where they utilize the 3D, and you can tell the way they utilize the space because of the way the characters move within that space, and they flatten it to look 2D. Or like if you've seen Black Rock Shooter, they do a good job of utilizing the 3D and flattening to be 2D, but while keeping the whole continuity of the show together. This one kind of loses that. The whole time you're watching this, it has a slow build. It kind of falls on those anime tropes or just any type of trope that reminded me of Digibro's video that he made on YouTube, where how to decipher a good anime versus a bad anime, and he does a good job of telling you what's important in storytelling and this and that. This movie totally, just gives you exposition. Right from the beginning, I'm like, alright, it's a little exposition. I'd expect that from an anime. It's a complex world. It just does it over and over again, and then, like, everything you see is just, they rely too much on dialogue, and not even interesting dialogue that by the end of it, you're just like, I just want the movie to be over. I gotta say, when I purchased this movie released by Funimation, I was excited. I was hoping it would be a great anime. I could honestly say that when I was watching this movie, I really didn't have much to like about it. Like as I said, it's exposition heavy. Dialogue is not interesting. The sound, the audio they used for recording, it just sounded off-putting. Like your main protagonist Tuan, you're just watching it, and it sounds like you're almost listening through it, like lack of microphone, kind of like what I'm doing. It falls on so many tropes. It tries to come off stunning, and like they totally invested a lot of money and care for the animation process, which still even came off lackluster to the whole film. It failed to deliver on so many levels. I was watching with friends, and we tried to pay close attention to every detail in the movie, but then we could not help but find ourselves either like my friends would start talking about something, or I started like just bringing out my phone. That's how I felt the whole time I was watching that fucking movie. I was just kind of bored. There's some moments where don't get me wrong, it's interesting, and the world that we're being shown is definitely something that's like worth telling. The story's worth telling, but it's just so poorly executed that it leaves you kind of just like, all right, just finish it off. I'm done. I'm checked off. I'd rather go watch something else. Cowboy Bebop me or something like that. Just make it feel good again. Overall, I will say that this movie has pretty good graphics. Story is not all that worth it. Sound is meh. If you watch it, I suggest like Crunchyroll or Funimation if you have a membership. That way you don't have to really spend money for it. I think it's just a free stream. I don't think the movie's worth it. Yeah, I bought the movie and I was like, there goes $20. No wonder it was only $20. But if you've seen it or you'd like to see it, or if you want to talk about it, comment below, let me know. Musical Gamer, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go drink something.